So what was the first day like seeing your group out there?
Exciting, always is. You know, more and more now, I feel like, you know, we get our eyes and hands on these guys earlier with more and more people coming here. And, you know, I think the last few years with just the facility over at Himes and obviously the convenience of Tampa and a lot of people getting down to this area. So in a lot of ways, these guys are, like last year, ahead of the curve a little bit, but it's always exciting when you get to stand up in front of the group and you know it's go time, and this is the start of the grind, the start of the journey. So good first day, I thought, overall. You know, finishing up lives out there. Rodon's got a second inning going. But overall, I thought pretty productive day.
Andy.
Obviously, a year ago, a lot was made about how good a place Rodon was in when he reported. How does he seem to you now? I know you only saw him with one inning there.
Yeah, I think he's developed such a solid routine. I actually told him this the other day at Himes, just, you know, after his bullpen. You know, I think there's a lot of trust and a lot of just knowledge now of the group, you know, that he's walking into. And he leaned into that last offseason. And just really proud of the routine he has developed and the work ethic that he's put behind it to put himself in a good position. I feel like he's in a really good spot now, again, similar to last year. But I think just another year more comfortable with us, with the people in the building, who everyone is, who he goes to for different things. Those are all little things that, you know, over time, I think really help guys.
And also, how'd Efros look to you?
I think Efros looks really good, like kind of that next stage away from surgery. I noticed that over at Himes in his pen the other day too, like just a crispness to his pitches again, you know. And I think you see that sometimes with Tommy John, you know, like, you know, yeah, you're over it. Yeah, the stuff for the most part returns, but then there's that next gear. I know I went through it as a player. First time I tore my ACL, it's like, yeah, I was back in 6-7 months, ready to go, good. But it's like, ooh, you get removed from it again, another offseason, like, oh, I'm really out of it now. So he looks to me like that. There looks to be a crispness to his pitches, you know, which is encouraging because obviously he can play a big role for us. You know how good he was when we acquired him. So excited with where he's at.
Who else? In the middle there. Jorge, Greg, either one.
Aaron, with Garrett, just given what happened a year ago, will he be handled any differently this spring and going into this, you know, opening day?
No. No, he actually threw more, like, kind of didn't put the ball down this year, which more and more you're seeing. Certainly, you know, we've tapped into that the last few years of keeping guys' arms moving, you know, in some way, shape, or form. So I even remember him coming in, you know, a couple weeks after the World Series when he was still in the New York area and coming in and just plyo ball, keeping his arm moving. He's really been really solid on, I mean, as he always is, but, you know, especially just being real connected with his throwing program, logging everything, and he should be full go, and yeah, feel good about where he's at.
Greg and Randy.
With Garrett and his opt-out situation in the offseason, were you ever worried that he might become a free agent? And after he came back in, did you feel any need to kind of talk to that, smooth things over at all about not adding the extra year or anything like that?
No, he was pretty. He had a good way about it. He came in and just kind of talked about it openly after the fact when he came back in. So he kind of put us at ease a little bit and a laugh, and certainly, obviously, I'm excited that obviously he came back.
Was there any time there where you thought he might?
You never know. You never know. I mean, you know, without great pitchers get, you know, are obviously really attractive on the market, and as great as he is and has been, you never know. But obviously, you know, relieved when he came back in.
Pete and Randy to the left.
Aaron, do you see Ben Rice strictly as a catcher in this camp, and do you view him firmly in the backup race here?
He's definitely in that backup race, but no, I want to keep that first base flexibility with him, you know, because I do really believe in the bat, and to have that flexibility to where he's, gained, good experience over there at first base now. But, the feeling is that he can handle it catching wise too. He can, he's good enough physically to do all the things you need to as a catcher. So I think having that flexibility is valuable. A lot of the focus will obviously be on catching this spring, but I'll want to keep the first base stuff in the mix.